Hi, I'm Marco, welcome to Barista. Today we have a comparison video and more importantly a practicality video on these machines and which one is best for you. Now before we start there, it's worth knowing where we came from, and here is a lovely collection of coffee making back in the day. I love this one, real Art Deco. So why am I doing this? If we go back to the machines, these represent kind of the best in class, and I'm calling it class because they all offer something different now. This Profitec Move is a very recent machine and it represents probably one of the best and most modern traditional machine setups. You now have the Meraki, quick heat up dual boiler, almost like a crossover, and then you have the new Sage. So today we're going to talk about convenience, practicality, what you want from your machine, how you make your coffees and which one's the best fit. Right, I've switched over here and I've got my pencil and my book. This is not a free flow normal video that I normally do. I have done video reviews, more in-depth ones on each of these machines. But the reason for the heritage of coffee making is because it's now, we've got to establish a few facts. It's now October 2025. The genie's out of the bottle. You have Ninja machines, you have Sage machines. There's lots of great machines, especially the Meraki, where you can buy lovely Arabica coffee for home and make great coffee now. So we've established that all these machines are really good. All coffee grinders now are really good. They don't have built up stale coffee in them anymore. The retention is low. So it's mind boggling knowing which machine is right for you. And we're going to do some scenarios with this video where we'll find one that might suit you better because of the practicality. So we're going to make Americanos, we're going to do a decaf shot, we're going to talk about serviceability. So these reasons that might also be in play when you're choosing your machine. So scenario one, you've made your fantastic coffee for you because your friends come round. However, they don't want a lovely 18 gram flat white. They want a single decaf. So yes, you can kick them out. That's totally, understandable. But also it might be that you might want to change your coffee because you like a single origin. But let's stick with the person wants a single decaf. So if you come closer, Scarlett, we'll weigh out a single dose of decaf. I mean, it helps having a set of scales and a dosing pot. These are filter scales and they were set to pounds, but we want a single around about 12 grams maybe, so you can taste it at least. That'll do. It's decaf. I'm not going to be super analytical on this. And here we are. This is a single dose grinder. You turn it on, or it's called hot. You pour in your beans. Normally the last half a gram gets stuck, and a few little puffs will get rid of most of that. Turn it off. Do-si-do with your handle. Now this is a bottomless basket. It won't be ideal, but you can see the process. All I've got to do now is tamp, and I can make my decaf shot. So this is nice and easy to do, and there's no wastage. This is the point from this. This grinder can switch between grinds whenever you want to, and you just grind as you need. Zero wastage, really efficient. Okay, we'll move on to the next machine, which is the Meraki. Again, the guest wants a single decaf, and it's going to be tricky, and you've made your lovely flat white again, and there's some beans left in the hopper, so you can see here, there's a little bit left of your lovely, I don't know, amazing blend, single origin, whatever it might be. So what do we do in this scenario? Well, first what you do is you basically take the hopper off like this, and it instantly has a bean gate stopper that allows you to decant this back into your favourite bag of coffee. Here we go. But as you can see here, we don't really want to be picking these beans out. So there's going to be some wastage to get to make decaf. So if I put that back in, do this, and we're gonna now find out how much we have to grind through as wastage. There's a little bit, it's a 0.12 of a gram now that's coming out. So the same 5.4 on there, 5.7 on these scales. So as you can see, to grind through the rest of your coffee, that's your wastage, before you then put in the decaf into the hopper. So there we are. I don't know how easy or hard you found that, but it's certainly a little bit more tricky than the traditional setup. Moving on to the Sage. So we've made our lovely coffee, everything's great, it's the volume of your favourite shock horror. You're going to make this decaf single. Let's see how much coffee's left in here. There's a few lovely beans left if you're caffeinated, of your choice. The good thing is with this Sage is you can unlock it. Well, I just locked it there, but if you unlock it, again, similar to the Meraki, it's got a bean gate, and here you have in the neck your precious coffee that you're going to have to grind through for that decaf. This time we have to weigh the handle because it's ground directly into the handle, and this will be fun trying to figure this out. So anyway, I'm going to put this handle in here, pop the hopper back on, careful not to break it, Marco. So we've come up and encountered our first problem. There's a few beans that are preventing me from stopping me doing this, so I'm going to actually turn the machine off. I'm also going to do it at the mains. I'm just going to pick a few of these beans out of the machine. I definitely do not recommend doing this. I would probably just grind that through at home, those last bits of coffee. Sorry, I had to cut that then. It's a bit of a palaver, so there's beans I've had to pick out before this sits back into place. Okay, let's turn it all back on. Always, I don't recommend picking beans out of a burr, but this is just for a demonstration of wastage. Now, what I might do is actually put that back in, because that was originally in the net. It's got a lovely loading screen, this Sage machine. Sometimes it asks for an update, which it's probably checking for now. So it's done its update, and we're back at the screen, and we have to grind in this handle. So as you can tell, I've zeroed the handle here, and let's grind through what's left in the hopper neck. It's very quiet in operation, the grind on the Sage machine. It's obviously looking for more beans to do the actual dose, which it can't do. And it's at this point it's asking for more coffee. So I will stop it here. There we go. And we'll find out how much is wasted. 7.1 grams. So there you have it. Quite a lot of wastage of your precious coffee on a Sage machine when you're switching out. Wastage on the Meraki traditional setup wins on this round. Like my jugs? Next practicality test. Americanos or long blacks. Let's see how much hot water these babies can produce. Let's start with the Meraki. I want to see how much hot water this can produce. It'd help if have I zeroed it? Yep. So into the menu. It's really great that you can make teas and Americanos at any temperature. So this is a real good feature actually. And let's just see how long this plays out for. I'm sure people wouldn't mind an edit at this point. It's starting to drop now, so that's going to be too cold to be on that point. 315 grams. We've got two very small flat white cups here. I mean, if you want a builder's tea or a very small Americano, you can just about do these cups. So, Americano lovers, there's a little bit of a restriction with the Meraki. Onto the Sage. Actually, before we move on to the Sage, it's worth noting, if you ran 2 cups of Americano, your brew might not be quite ready for your espresso as well. So you then have to wait for it to heat up. So if you have to do 3 or 4 shots, do your espressos and your milk-based ones first, then the Americanos last. Okay, back to the Sage. I'm going to go into manual mode for this, just because it's easier, and I'm going to hit the hot water. Now this is also a lot noisier, the Sage, because it's got a vibration pump, whereas the Meraki's got a much softer and quieter rotary pump. So there is a significant noise difference switching to the Sage machine. Well, it's decided that's enough. I'll keep going. We've got no real gauge on temperature either, but there's still steam billowing out of the milk pitcher. Oh yes, it stops at 150 ml. Now, there's significantly less steam coming out of the hot water now at this point, so I'm probably going to stop it here, and I probably should have had a temperature probe to find out if that water was dropping below 50 degrees. Let me just replace them. 570 grams. It's coped with that okay to do 2 cups, but maybe in another video or in the description I will do a better measurement of this. So there you go, you've got a little bit more water left in here. I'd probably say about 30 to 40 ml extra. I'm just going to see though, if now it's had a little bit of a time to recover, whether there's steam coming off this. Yeah, so it does recover quick. I'm going to press it a 3rd time. There's a generous amount of steam coming from that hot water. So yeah, the Sage's dual boiler, it's good proper steam boiler in this machine, not the thermojet, is producing on-demand hot water. So you have to say on this machine, the hot water it produces beats the Meraki. Now onto the traditional machine. I've stepped up to a larger jug on this. I feel a bit more confident. Profitec Move. Wow, here you go. Long black Americano lovers, knock your heart out here. So it's now filling that steam boiler, but that was fierce, and that was 445 grams in 10 seconds. Super quick. Now it's filled the boiler with cold water and the temperature is going to drop. So that is the max out in one big go. However, speed and efficiency, if you want to make 2 Americanos quick in the morning, this is your machine. Yes, it's just finished. For consistent hot water, a little bit slower, the Sage also does well there. So this one kind of could be considered a draw, but there might be occasions where you like this over this. You can decide on that one. Next battle or contest, shall we say. What coffee do you like? Is it dark? Is it medium? Is it light? Because the grinders have some effect on that. Now taste is a personal preference, but here in my hand, I've got light roast beans. Some people love fruity, acidic, light roast. Here is our lovely medium roast Brazil Santo. Obviously organic Arabica speciality. This is a medium style roast, medium light, it almost could be considered. And here, the actual decaf will count as a good one to see, like what a medium to medium dark roast would look like. We don't know what coffees you like. You could go into a restaurant and ask for a steak, you have it rare, medium or well done. Some people love dark roast coffees, some people love medium, some people love fruity, acidic, light roasts. Now, the Sage, the Meraki, they have conical burrs. They produce a lovely fluffy fines of coffee that bring out loads of lovely flavour and depth for medium and medium dark roast coffee. However, they struggle a little bit with light roast coffees. The traditional setup, the single dose DF64 has a flat burr. It's unimodal. It creates consistent fines for espresso, which this is designed for light, medium and dark roast coffee. Now, there's always opinion on which people find is better, but it's generally considered if you like light roasts, the flat burr is going to win out. So on this occasion, no coffees are made, but I will put it down to the versatility of the grinder with a traditional setup. It allows you to explore more different roast levels of coffee. Traditional setup wins. Next battle, non-dairy. It doesn't have to be Oatly, but I want to see how silky smooth we can get this milk. And we're going to start with the Sage because this has got some lovely features on this occasion. So on here, you've got the scale, and I want oat. And also, which is really quite cool, is how much microfoam you want. So I'm going to keep it at 4 because that's where I've been. Always give your non-dairy a shake first. We're going to do it on the drip tray. 60 degrees, this one's set to. You've also got a nice, because of the temperature probe at the end of the steam wand, you've always got an idea of what the temperature is at any point. And also what I like about this, like the Meraki, if it's crazy in the morning, you're getting the kids ready for school, you can just leave this and it'll do its thing and it will stop at the desired temperature. Temperature's there. Let's see about the smooth latte texture. Auto purge is good. Now, that looks a little bit like cappuccino texture to me. A little tip I did learn with non-dairy is sometimes before you swirl and tap, you can leave it for 10-20 seconds and you sometimes get better texture as well. But I ain't got time for this in this quick video review, so here we go. Too foamy. The review in my Sage video was much better than that. On to the Meraki. Making latte art texture with non-dairy is always notoriously hard. Now, I don't know if this is perfectly designed for steaming on the drip tray, but as long as the steam tip's just under the surface, I want to get this to, I don't know, 60, the same as the Sage. There we go. Both machines weren't using steam before, so there's no purges before, because that's what sometimes happens in the morning. It's quite quick getting up to 60 degrees there. Now that's definitely not got as much air, and that's probably where I left it under the surface. Wow, that shot could have been better in the espresso, but here we go anyway. The cremas break a bit, and there we go. Now I'm sure there'll be people that can do these much better than me, but this is just no editing, straight onto each machine, non-dairy, first go. Onto the Profitec Move. These are not my best coffees. It's a one-hit wonder, and that is, we didn't have much non-dairy left anyway. think that's just about enough. Again, this didn't need too much shaking this time. Now, I'd always normally manually steam this, but I'm going to plonk it onto the drip tray. To try and keep the experiment as similar as I can. Now, with all of these, if you want to introduce a bit more air with the Meraki in this, you could lift the steam wand up to introduce a little bit more air into it, but I'm not going to for this. I'm just going to see how it plays out. Okay, a little bit of steam. It's getting a bit too hot to the touch now. There's no thermometer or display to tell me the temperature on this machine. Purge after, because we don't want milk travelling back up into the steam boiler. Wake the crema up. I'll dab a bit. And we'll just bring. Now, the Sage, it was probably set too foamy. The Meraki, I could have introduced a little bit more air, and the Profitec Move, again, I could have lifted the wand up to introduce a little bit more air. I didn't do that last shot justice. I've moved it to 3 on the Sage, just to show you how cool this really is. Also, it's an insulated steam wand as well. The nice finger hold, so it's ever so easy. There's nothing here that's going to burn your fingers. It's already looking like number 3 is perfect for this Oatly. There we go. And also the lovely purge. A much silkier Oatly this time. Better. Verdict on this is a tricky one. With lots of experiments, I've found that the Meraki can produce a silky texture relatively easy most of the time. Now the Sage, if you've got the right number for your particular non-dairy, I'd have to say for consistency, the Sage would probably win out on this occasion. If you like the idea of your manual barista skills and manually steam the milk, eventually you will be able to perfect the steam for non-dairy as well. So this is a little bit more tricky, but for the beginner, I would say the Sage probably edges it. Meraki produces lovely silky non-dairy as well, and it'll be a little bit more tricky on the Profitec Move. So on this occasion, the battle of the non-dairy with the options that the Sage has got, the Oracle wins. Always remember to clean the steam ones, especially the ones with the probes on them. Now it's worth mentioning as well, you can obviously manually steam on the Profitec Move, and you know the barista in you, as you get more advanced, you can manually steam on the Meraki, and you've got a whole manual mode where you can swipe up on the Sage and you can manually steam as well to your heart's content. The clever thing with the Sage is when you put it back into the neutral position, it will do an auto purge once it's made the coffee. It's a really lovely feature. Now, I'm sorry for killing these drinks. It was just the first attempt. That's what I wanted you to see. The next battle. Serviceability. This is something we've always considered with Sage machines because we have our own service centre. We like to fix coffee machines. Now with the Sage, this one has to be ranked the 3rd on on this occasion. However, you've got a great support network with the Sage Breville group. So if there's any issues, they can be quickly resolved. However, you can't just go into the machine and change parts as easy as, let's say, the traditional machine. Something like the Profitec Move, you can swap out the element, you can change the safety valve, it can have a service after 4 or 5 years. So the Profitec and semi-automatic machines, traditional machines, prosumer machines in general that we sell are fantastic from that point of view. Longevity, reliability, you can change bits, you can service them. As long as you put soft filtered water in, all these machines will last a long time, but this has to win purely on the ability to change parts and change them easily. The Meraki is somewhere in the middle. So yes, it can be repaired. We are now officially the UK service centre, so we've got a lot more depth, knowledge and insights with Meraki on how the components can be changed and they can be repaired. However, it is tricky. It's not as easy as a traditional machine. So if you want something that you just want to own, something almost like a classic car that has that ability to be looked after, cherished, I would say you have to go for the traditional setup. If you put soft bottled water, let's say Tesco's Ashbeck, in the Meraki, it's certainly going to last a lot longer than normal tap water. If there's issues, we can, as in the UK, look after your machine. With Sage, this would be down to the Sage network. I do believe machines can be fixed at a company in the UK for Sage Breville, but you've got the Sage Breville support network. But this is why Sage go to such great lengths in making sure that you put soft filtered water in their machines. It comes with a water test strip. It comes with the ability to have the filter in there. So as long as you use soft filtered water, you shouldn't get too many problems. But serviceability, third, second, first, clear, nice and easy, that one. So as I tidy away, we have to come to some type of conclusion with this. And for me, a lot of it is down to the looks and how it feels. What just the ownership of the machine. And I would say the traditional setup, the premium feel and touch, the stainless steel, the sheer weight of the grinder in the machine, that kind of like classic car style ownership. It's really something that I love looking at in the morning when I make my coffee. You then move on to the Meraki. It's a mixture of aluminium and ABS plastic. It's beautifully minimalistic in look and it's got lovely curves. And you've also got this added ability of your feedback from a digital display. So it sacrifices a little bit of that real heavy quality premium touch. And you get something that's a little bit more like a kitchen appliance. Then moving to the Sage, I mean, again, it's not got that real heavy duty metal feel. I believe it is some type of aluminium, but there is a plastic feel to it. It is very glossy, very shiny, very curvy. The aesthetic is there. For grinder and machine combos, it does look really pretty. So yeah, from an aesthetic point of view, again, very different in its look, and it definitely kitchen appliance territory, but inside it is commercial built with proper steam and brew boilers. The same with the Meraki, rotary pump, steam boiler, brew boiler. But from a desirability point of view, one might appeal more than another. I can't say which has won the battle on this, because this is down to the person, the kitchen, the look and the feel, all of those things. For me personally though, however, I do love just the solidness and the robustness of a traditional setup, but that's just me. So conclusion, it's how involved you want to be with your machine at home. Some people have got all the time in the world with a traditional setup. Some people haven't got any time. They've got a busy, hectic schedule and just grinding a handle, making your brew and steaming at the same time, this has to be the most convenient. However, the Meraki has got something what I think is amazing, and it's grind by weight technology. And we touched on wastage of coffee. Coffee is becoming really expensive. As coffee roasters, organic coffee roasters, we've found this. And I just love the fact that this dosing pot, it's zeroed, and I can change exactly the dose I want. So I'm just going to do a little 1 gram purge. 1.1. I've tested this with scales all the time and it is so accurate. And then straight to your favourite dose, 18 grams. I'm going to drink this coffee once we've finished. It just does it for you. The ability to adjust the grind, and it shows you the grind level as you change it, and the RFID, so you on bags of coffee now, you can plonk your bag of coffee on and it will ping up the recommended settings, makes this also extremely convenient. And again, you can do your manual brew and your manual steam on this machine, but the precision of the dose is something that really appeals to me. Once I've bought a machine and I'm a beginner and I might want to get into it and change the recipes, I just think this is the easiest machine to use from that regard. So that's an extra feature that I think is my favourite of these free machines. How do we sum it all up? For me, convenience, without even thinking about it in the morning, it has to be the Sage. And it has the manual barista mode that you can swipe up to do your advanced barista things as you learn the machine at a later date. The Meraki is a great crossover between the two. You can manually brew. You don't feel intimidated if you don't want this commercial machine. It makes amazing flat whites. The precision is incredible. From a versatility point of view, I feel the Meraki wins. Convenience point of view, it's down to the Sage. And then if you want to get into this and explore becoming a barista at home, it has to be the traditional setup where you can try any different roast level of coffee. The world's your oyster. There's lots of machines and grinders out there. We can help you with that, but the Profitec Move is a strong contender for anyone. So it has to come down to price. Roughly £1,600–1,700 for the machine, the Profitec Move, £1,500 for the Meraki. Rotary pump, remember, really quiet. £2,500 for the Sage. You are paying a lot for the technology, which is incredible. I never thought I'd see a machine help dial in a coffee until this machine came out. So the price with a grinder on a Profitec Move, you're looking around about £2,000, £2,100. Meraki £1,500, £2,500. So the choice is yours with the price and whether it's convenience or whether you are a fledgling barista. So if you like this practical, more comparison of the current machines that are out here at this moment in time, please remember to like and subscribe. We love the comments that come in, and you can always email us at Better Barista as well. So as always, cheers.